Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to combine a few things into this video. The first thing, I'll do this unboxing of this package I got from Buyee. It's going to contain a variety of things, including some Japanese manga, a small package from Kinokuniya, which also has more Japanese manga as well as an art book, and then my usual manga haul with English volumes. So let's get right into it. So yeah, like I mentioned, this one is a grab bag of a haul with things coming from all sorts of places. Kinokuniya, Right Stuff, Barnes & Noble, Buyee, Amazon, everywhere. And each order has a mix of very wholesome items to ones that are not so much, if you know what I mean. Be mindful whenever I mention a series that's directed towards a more mature audience. Of course, I'm not going to show anything explicit here. But here's the usual Buyee packaging if you don't opt to pay for any additional padding, which I never do because I think they do a pretty good job at their base fee, and my orders have always arrived fine. So we'll start with this envelope. And it's volume 2 of You Are the One I Am Destined to Fall in Love by Anashin, the same mangaka of Haru Matsubokura or Waiting for Spring. I ordered this from the Melon Books website because it came with this illustration card. The characters always look so good, but I'm continuing to follow this series chapter by chapter because I love it so much. I've already talked about this series a few times on my channel by now. I'm also very dedicated in collecting every dessert magazine where this series is on the cover. And actually, I'll show you the cover I currently have displayed. This is the June 2021 issue, and they're so cute. Anyways, I'm obsessed. Can you tell? Here's the next envelope. And it's a cute Horimiya acrylic stand that can also function as a keychain, but I won't use it that way since having the acrylic tabs on the bottom would bug me. But yeah, I thought this was super cute. I believe Animate offered this as a special item with the Japanese volume 13. But yeah, isn't this adorable? As a hardcore Horimiya fan, I had to pick this up. And actually, continuing on with Horimiya into this next envelope. I was super excited to get this package because it's a canvas tote bag with Chibi Hori-san on one side and Miyamura reading a book on the other side. So perfect. Aren't they? Super cute. And the canvas is such nice quality. It even has a sturdy zipper so your contents won't fall out, a couple pockets where you can put your phone and small items so they don't get lost in the shuffle. I love this so much, and I've already used it. Here's how it looks in terms of size. I'm not a tall person at all, so the tote is kind of big. I used it for when I went out shopping and even as a quick out-of-town bag. I'm so happy to have this. This next item came in a small box and wrapped really nicely inside. Oh, thank you for your purchase. So cute with the tape too. But I got 2 of these capsule torsos or dress forms of Sakura's outfits from Clear Card, I believe. I haven't actually gotten too far into anime yet. So I don't know how I came across these on Mercari, but I thought they were really neat because I own a dress form too that I have to the right of my desk. But I picked my favorite ones of all the options. I almost got carried away and tried to get all of them, but thought that would be too much. So just going to put together this white-gray outfit. Everything slid pretty smoothly together. Although I got a little twisted on the layer order for a bit. But the little beret is so cute, and I love the overall style with the top coat and skirt. And the white and yellow outfit is a special version because it comes with Gero-chan attached to the top torso piece. If you did the gacha for this, there is a standard version without Gero-chan. But I searched through all the Mercari listings for one that was selling this rare version. I think this is such a cute addition to my desk since I have a few other yellow things on here. The crown does tend to fall since the middle post doesn't keep it very secure. But yeah, you can use this to hang small things like jewelry, but I'll just have these as is and then put the gray one here because I think it looks nice. Moving on to the next envelope. And be warned, this is a very mature read, so if you're not of age, these are not for you. But I pre-ordered this through Amazon Japan. I was so excited when I saw the artist for this series post on Twitter that it was finally getting a print, and both volumes 1 and 2 were getting released at the same time. I'm a huge fan of this artist-writer duo, but the series is Shojokon, Kohinata Fuufu wa Shitemitai, art by Kiichi Kojima, and story by Chizu Aoi. I'm in love with the art. Every time Kiichi Kojima posts on Twitter, I heart everything. But for as spicy as this story is, it's so freaking wholesome. It's basically this newlywed couple navigating intimacy with each other. Keiichiro is a professor of animal behavior and a total nerd. He has an odd way of relating everything to his vast knowledge of animals, but he gets into a arranged marriage with Kurimi, who likes plants and works at a flower shop. They're so sweet with each other from the start, but after almost a year of marriage and not having taken the next step, they start to do a bit of research on how to be intimate with your partner. But yeah, it's such a lovely, mature read, and I can't wait until the next chapter is available. And last item from my Buyee order. Another very mature series by the same artist and writer as the Shojokon series I just talked about. So don't pick this up if you're not of age. And it's volume 1 of Gokudou to Omega. This bonus illustration card is so beautiful. It centers around Wakana, who is a romance writer tasked with interviewing the top alpha male, Kunimitsu, who happens to be the leader of a Yakuza group. However, with her Omega traits coming forth, it spells trouble for her, and of course, who's there to rescue her from all the rabid betas? Kunimitsu. There's like a slight intensity in the beginning, but once the two main characters become established, which obviously doesn't take very long, their relationship is so cute. Again, the art is amazing and seriously one of my most favorites out there. All the characters Kiichi Kojima draws are so alluring. And the fact that this story has a really nice established couple, like with Shojokon, they don't have the typical misunderstandings and are just loving. This is why I love Chizu Aoi and Kiichi Kojima as a mangaka duo. Moving on to the Kinokuniya package. Didn't get too much in this order. It was just enough for me to get the free shipping. But this first one is actually volume 2 of Gokudou to Omega, which I just talked about, so I won't get into it again. But this also came with an illustration card, which I was pretty surprised about because I didn't know if Kinokuniya orders came with these two. But oh my god, look at them. This volume is so good. But yeah, excited to have this. And this next one is Hoteri Hotette First Kiss by Koko Uzuki. I picked this up because the cover was super cute. Honestly, that was it. I couldn't find anything on what this story was about at the time, but from a summary I read online, it's an anthology of 4 short stories, one being between a first-year high schooler who has feelings for one of the third years. And I don't know what the other stories might be about. I'm still trying to find scans of this, which I don't think exist yet. or maybe ever, I don't know. Oh well, the art is really nice. And the last thing from Kinokuniya is this Genshin Impact Illustration Collection Volume 1. It came with this little postcard and huge Tartaglia Shikishi board with him in his Harbinger coat outfit, which we seriously need a skin of ASAP. And then this fold out is really amazing. And on the back side is from the first summer patch release of the Golden Apple Archipelago. But yeah, it's no secret from my art speed paint videos that I love Genshin Impact and have been playing since around launch. The character designs are just too good, and I enjoy the lore. These are the banners from major patch updates. Geez, I can't believe it's already been over 2 years since the game's release, and that I'm still playing fairly regularly. And then these are from the character trailers during their initial release. I think these illustrations are from collabs with certain companies. Like I think if you bought from a certain chocolate brand, it came with this illustration. Like either China exclusive or China and Japan exclusive. I don't know. I can't remember. And I actually ordered this Shikishi of Noel, which comes with a letter and other things. I'm still waiting for that to be available. And then this Zhongli piece. I can't remember if MiHoYo posted this on New Year's Eve, which actually that makes sense now that I think about it. It has to have been. I think these were birthday illustrations because Zhongli's birthday is New Year's Eve. But yeah, I still love it. I was dying when they released this illustration. But yeah, I've invested so much time and money into the Genshin Impact universe and game. I don't mind it at all. Since I'm talking about art books, I'll quickly share this one I got from Amazon that I've been wanting to get for a long time. It's the Tokyo Storefronts book with artworks by Mateusz Urbanowicz. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, I'm sorry. But the book jacket has a map of the storefronts, which is so cool. But this book is exactly that. His drawings of storefronts around Tokyo, including some extra details about the places. I wish I had this book when I had gone to Japan, but next time I'll take it with me. And then towards the end are the tools he uses. Such an amazing art book and great resource. So moving back into manga, I picked up Blue Period volumes 7, 8, and 9. This is one I need to catch up on as I'm only a couple volumes in, but if you didn't already know, it centers around Yatura and his art journey and of those around him. The struggles, the revelations, and how their goals continue to shift as they grow with their art and question the purpose of their craft. I've heard the anime is kind of just okay, but let me know if you've been following along with this series. Next is Boarding School Juliet, volumes 4, 12, and 13. This one is a comedy action romance series that centers around Romeo and Juliet, who are part of two opposing houses that have a history of constantly being in contention with each other. However, Romeo is in love with Juliet and confesses pretty early on, but to his surprise, she accepts to begin dating, and so it's about these characters attempting to date while trying to keep their relationship a secret from their classmates. It's more comedy driven than dramatic, despite what I just said. But volume 4 was out of stock for the longest time, and it was funny because when I finally got it, the cover was volume 4, but the content was volume 13. So when I opened it, I was so confused and kind of spoiled, but it's fine. I assumed what I saw would happen anyways. But yeah, I thought it was ironic because I was missing both 4 and 13, but got neither. Well, I got volume 13, I guess, but wrong cover. Next is volume 6 of My Dress Up Darling. I'm currently reading volume 4 at the moment, and it has such an interesting dichotomy with the fan service but wholesomeness. I haven't watched the anime yet because I want to continue reading the manga first, but the entire time I'm reading, Marin's giddiness feels so contagious. I mean, I feel like every speech bubble, she's yelling about how much she adores something or someone. But surprisingly, she doesn't come off as overbearing, so I don't mind. And then Gojo balances her character out pretty well. So overall, I'm enjoying reading this. Next is the Geek Ex-Hitman Volumes 1 and 2 by Kodai, published by Yen Press. This is a new series pickup for me. I saw the title, then the cover, and thought this should be funny. So based on the summary, since I haven't read this yet, it centers around Marco, a well-known hitman who comes across the otaku world of anime, manga, and games, and decides to leave that assassin life behind. But that doesn't necessarily mean his past won't catch up to him now that he's an otaku. We'll see how this goes once I get into it. Next is volumes 1 and 2 of the BL Our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide by Mone Sorai, published by Tokyopop. I am in love with this series. It's still ongoing, and I believe volume 3 should be coming out in January. But I learned of this series through one of Suki Note's videos, and I'm really glad I picked it up. It follows this couple, Asahi Suzumura and Mitsuki Sayama, as they travel around the world, taste all sorts of unique dishes, meet lovely locals in the various cities, see all the sights, all while learning more about the other person. If you've ever traveled with a significant other, it's not always the perfect time, and I think this series shows it pretty well with the added struggle that they're a gay couple, unsure of the world's acceptance of who they are as an individual and when together. But what awaits them at the end of their trip is an agreement that they get married. I seriously cannot wait for when that happens, but I do love the journey. It's so cool to read through because I'm a huge proponent of traveling and exploring the world. I actually have traveled to almost all the cities they go to, specifically in the second volume. So it's like nostalgia for me, seeing all the landmarks and places they visit. I highly recommend you check this out. It's a 13 plus mature rating, so nothing explicit or anything here for a BL. Next is Lovesick Ellie Volume 5. Okay, this is going to be a surprise considering I love a lot of shoujo and I feel like everyone is loving this series, but I'm actually putting it on hold. I'm not sure if I'll drop it just yet, but I have read this volume and I don't know, something isn't quite clicking for me. I do get the secondhand embarrassment from how straightforward Ellie is sometimes, or a lot of the times. And I don't mind it because it can be funny and it's what makes this series. Ellie and her tweets are so cheesy, but I don't say that in like a negative way since I'm all for a female lead taking charge and saying what she thinks. But I'm not sure I'm getting the chemistry. I was having a similar problem between Lovesick Ellie and Imakoi because a cousin comes into the picture and I'm like, really? Anyways, if you're still enjoying this, I'm all for it. For me, I'll just take a break and see how I feel about it later on. Next series is another shoujo, My Happy Marriage Volume 1, with art by Rito Kosaka and original story by Akumi Agitogi, published by Square Enix. I actually learned of this series because I saw the anime trailer for it first when it got posted. The trailer was so gorgeous and literally gave me Violet Evergarden vibes. I think it has to do with the music being composed by Evan Call. But after I saw it, I immediately looked into the series, and at first thought the light novel was the manga, but then saw that the manga adaptation was going to be published too. So I have read this volume, and it has Cinderella vibes where Mio is severely mistreated by her father and stepmother and sister. As a way to finally be rid of her, Mio's father arranges her to be married to Gokudou, who everyone seems to think is some cruel person. But Mio discovers that the house she now lives in is not quite what she was expecting or hearing. There is a little bit of a supernatural element to it, so I'm curious to see how that plays out, but I'm really looking forward to when I get my second volume. This next one was a total impulse buy, and actually the series after this was too. But I got the omnibus version of Noragami by Adachi Toka, published by Kodansha. These are hefty 3-in-1s, so it'll be interesting reading these bricks. I was debating whether to go singles because I do really like the covers, but then the omnibus route is cheaper considering there's 25 volumes already and it's still ongoing. So this time I opted to be as money conscious as I could, if that's even possible considering all this manga I bought. But honestly, I don't know much about this series except from what I've read in the synopsis. This is a pretty popular one, so you all probably know way more about this than I can even summarize. But just like with everything else, I will read this soon. I have the next couple omnibuses pre-ordered too, so I'm looking forward to getting into this action fantasy series. My next impulse buy was The King's Beast, Volume 7. So in my last haul, I picked up volumes 1 to 6, and here I am with volume 7, even though I haven't started reading this series yet. I think I got this on a whim while I was in store at Barnes & Noble trying to get the next series I'll talk about after this. But from what I remember about the summary, there's Rangetsu, who's trying to avenge the death of her brother by infiltrating into the Imperial Palace, but gets entangled in the inner happenings and the various people in that place. I know a few people who have been pleasantly surprised and really came to like the series, so I'll definitely see what it's about eventually. So the main reason I made a Barnes & Noble trip was because I was desperate to pick up this BL therapy game Restart Volumes 1 and specifically 2 by Meguro Hinohara, published by Sublime. I'm obsessed with this entire series, starting from Secret XXX and then the 2 volumes of therapy game before these 2 Restart ones. I'm telling you though, I got so hooked that I bought a ton of merch that will be in another haul once they arrive. Be mindful though that these are very mature reads since it does get graphically explicit. Do not pick this up if you are not of age, but if you are old enough, I love this couple. I read it out of order though because I started with Therapy Game first and then Secret XXX. I actually preferred Secret XXX over Therapy Game because it was fluffier, an easygoing slice of life. Plus there's Itsuki. I'll put him on the screen. I mean, I don't have to say anymore. He's such an ikemen. He also made it as my coveted phone wallpaper. But then I read Restart. Then my love for Minato and Shizuma skyrocketed. Particularly for Minato. Seriously, Hinohara Sensei is a godsend because I love their art and all the character designs. But anyways, the communication between the couple in Restart is really nice, particularly when it comes to expressing insecurities and trying to understand each other. Minato and Shizuma are really such a sweet couple, but who knows when the next volume will be released. So I ease the pain by buying all the merch. Which, by the way, there's a Dear Plus 25th anniversary exhibition in Japan that just opened on the 29th, and then a collaboration cafe sometime in November. I wish I could be there right now, but it's okay. I'll just keep a lookout for all the merch that will be sold after. Alright, a huge 180 into this next series, which is Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting, Volume 3. I've also read this volume, and the wholesomeness continues. It does get a bit serious at times, with Kirishima encountering others who have grudges against him, and Yaeka getting mixed in with all of that. I mean, it is bound to happen with her being in a Yakuza family. But aside from that, sprinkled in are so many cute moments of the two and a continuation of Yaika softening everyone's heart around her. I'm not sure how far the anime goes with the manga, but I'm still holding off on watching it until I read more. The animation looks really cute though, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Next series is Your Lie in April, Volumes 1 and 11, the final volume. This volume 1 though is actually an alternate cover from a loot crate I had gotten from a friend. So I technically have 2 volume 1s now. But when I saw this cover, I thought it was really pretty compared to the standard one, which this is the original cover. And then this volume 11 cover is also really beautiful. So I have all the volumes for this series now, which I'm pretty happy about because I really enjoyed the anime and adore the music so much. I love listening to the piano collection for the series. It'll be great accompaniment while reading the manga. And last series for this video is Yotsuba to, volumes 6 to 9. This series is just pure fun as you experience the city and neighborhood through Yotsuba's eyes and adventures. Her way of thinking and how she responds to the older kids and adults kind of takes you back to your own childhood with all the silly and endearing things she does. It's not something I binge read, which kind of applies to most heavy slice of life series to be honest, but that doesn't mean it's boring either. I just love it as something casual, and it's easy for me to pick up whenever I want a lighthearted read. So here's all the manga for this month. This was really all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me while I talked on all the things I picked up and read. Let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.